Hello, madam. Hello, madam. Your voice not hearing.
Oh my God, I have not seen. Mic is mute. I have not seen that. Okay, I'll repeat again.
Okay, okay,
From the
ma'am.
beginning of the class, it is like that.
Yes, madam.
Oh,
Starting onwards.
oh, don't know that. Okay, I'll repeat everything. So, see, in the previous class, but now you can hear me, right? Yes. See, in the previous class, we discussed about payback period method. And in the payback period method, we discussed and we have done some problems also. Now we'll discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of that payback period method. The main advantage of payback period method, it is very simple to understand and it is easy to calculate. Then payback period method saves cost also. Like it requires lesser time and labor as compared to other methods of capital budgeting. And this method as a project with a shorter payback period is preferred comparatively with the one which is having longer payback period. So it reduces the loss through like this method, and it is more suited to the this method is suitable for the developing countries like India. And due to the short term approach, this method is particularly suited to a firm which has a shortage of cash, or whose liquidity position is not particularly good. So these are the advantages. Now if you see the disadvantages of, even though it has, this method is simplest and oldest and most frequently used method, it suffers with some limitations also. The first limitation is that it does not take into account the cash inflows earned after the payback period, and hence the true profitability of the projects cannot be correctly assessed. That is the main drawback. The second drawback is this method ignores the time value of money. That is the second drawback. Next drawback is it does not take into consideration the cost of capital. The cost of capital is very important factor in making sound investment decisions, but payback period method is ignoring this concept, cost of capital. And it is difficult to determine the minimum acceptable payback period. Like sometimes it is usually a subjective decision, so this factor they are ignoring. This method is ignoring, and it treats each asset individually. um, and the payback period method does not measure the true profitability of all the projects of the project, as the project considered under this method is limited to a short period only, or it may not take the full period of the full life of the asset. It will take only short period. See, whatever limitations payback period is having, even though in spite of these limitations, this method can be used in evaluating the profitability of short term and medium term capital investment proposals. See, after these limitations, these are the what we discussed is in the previous class, that is additional traditional approach of payback period method. Now there are some improvements in the traditional approach of payback method. Among them, the first method is post payback Post payback profitability method. Now post payback profitability method means, if you remember, I told you just one point of drawback, that is one of the serious limitation of payback period method is that it does not take into account the cash inflows earned after the payback period, and so the true profitability of the project cannot be assessed. So that is the main drawback, right? So hence, an improvement over this method can be made by taking into account the returns receivables beyond the payback period. These returns are called as post payback period. So we are calculating post payback by using this another improved method. We can calculate post payback profitability index. Okay. Now here I'll tell you the form. Take down this formula. Post payback profitability index. Post payback profitability index is equal to post payback profits into 100 divided by investments. Okay. Now take down the problem. We'll do one problem. We'll do one problem based on this formula. For each of the projects, compute payback period, post back profitability, and post back profitability index. Now, under this, initial outlay rupees 50,000, annual cash inflow after tax but before depreciation. That is rupees 10,000. Next, estimated life 8 years. B, initial outlay annual cash inflow after tax but before depreciation. That is rupees 15,000. Then first 3 years, rupees 5,000. Then next Next 5 years. 8 years. Sorry. This is 15,000. Here it is 5,000. Here estimated life 8 years. Then salvage rupees 8,000. Now we need to calculate these three. We will solve the problem. Solution. A. Under that, the first one, payback period is equal to investments divided by annual cash inflow. So how we'll calculate? Investment is how much? For A, investment is 50,000, right? So rupees 50,000 divided by annual cash inflow is rupees 10,000. Rupees 10,000. That will be 5,000 divided by 10,000. That will be 5 years. This is first one. That is payback period. You know about this. Now the second calculation is post back profitability. Post back profitability is equal to annual cash inflow into estimated life minus payback period. So how much is annual cash inflow? How much is annual cash outflow? Annual cash outflow is 10,000. Estimated cash life is 8 minus 5, right? So how much you will get? It will comes around 10,000 into 3. So that is 30,000 rupees. 30,000. I will do the third calculation. Third calculation. Post back profitability index. Post back profitability index is equal to how much is post back? Formula is post payback profits into 100 divided by investments. That is equal to, how much is post payback profits? Post payback profits are 30,000 rupees. 30,000 into 100 divided by, how much is investment? Investment is 50,000. So that will be 50,000. So how much you will get? 3 lakhs into 100 divided by 50,000, that will be 60%. That is 60%. Now for this is A. Now we'll do for A, B also. B also. We'll calculate now. B. See, as the cash inflows are not equal during the life of the investment, the payback period can be calculated as, because we don't know, because they are not equal during this period, so we are calculating payback period like this. First year cash inflow, first year cash inflow 15,000. Second year's cash inflow 15,000. Third year's cash inflow 15,000. Fourth year's cash inflow 5,000. Total will be 50,000. Now we'll calculate. Hence, payback period will be, hence, how many years will be the payback period? Total investment 50,000 divided by, so you'll get payback period will be like 4 years. Then second one is post payback profitability. Post payback profitability is equal to annual cash inflow into remaining life after, I'm writing payback period. So how we will calculate this? Annual cash inflow is cash inflow is 5,000 into the remaining year is 4 years. So that will be rupees 20,000. Third one, post payback profitability index. Post profitability index is equal to post payback profits into 100 divided by, we'll take this formula as it is here. So post payback profits are rupees 20,000 into 100 divided by, investments are how much? Investments are 50,000. That is equal to 40%. Like this, we need to calculate this post payback profitability method. After this method, one more improvement is there. Some more improvements are there. That is payback reciprocal method, then post payback period method, then discounting payback period method. Like that, we have some more methods are there. We'll do one more method, that is discounted payback period method. One problem I'll explain. Discounting or discounted payback period method. Go to the next page. Now take down the problem. Calculate discounted payback period from the information given below. Cost of project rupees 6 lakhs. Life of the project 5 years. Annual cash inflow. Annual cash inflow rupees 2 lakhs. Then cut off rate 10%. Now we'll solve this problem. Solution of this problem, we can do this with the help of discounting factor. We have PV table will be there, discounting factor will be table there, that you have to check. Now for this problem purpose, I'll mention the values here. calculation of present values of cash inflows. First column year, second column inflows, third column PV at 10 discount factor. Then we have present value, then cumulative present value. Years you take down 1, 2, 3. We have total 5 years. Four and 5. Cash inflows will be cash inflows, annual inflows are 2 lakhs per annum. So all the 5 years you need to take 2 lakhs. And discounted rate factors, I'll check based on the table values I'm writing here. 909, 826, 751, 683, 621. Present values. How will get this present values? If you do the second column, if you multiply the second column with the third column, you will get the present value. I'll write here. So this will be 1,81,800. Then here it is 1,68,000. Sorry, 65,200. Then 1,50,200. Then 1,36,600. Then 1,24,200. Now we have to take the cumulative values of present value. Or you will take the cumulative value, first value ki second value add చేసుకుంటూ రావాలి. That will be the cumulative values. Now add here. First value is 1,81,800 plus this value 1,65,200. You will get 3,47,000. Then for to 3,47,000 you add 1,50,000. That will be 4,97,200. Then 4,97,200 you add 1,36,600. That will be 6 lakhs 33,800. Then to that amount you add 1,24,200. That will be 7 lakhs 58,000. So here, if you see the cost of project, it is around 6 lakhs, right? Here you write down, we'll write a point here. Cumulative present value, cumulative cumulative present value of cash inflows at the end of the third year is rupees. At the end of third year, how much it is? It is rupees 4 lakhs. It is an end of rupees. It is 4 lakhs 97,200, and it is rupees 6 lakhs 33,800 at the end of fourth year, right? The third year it is 4 lakhs 97,200, and for the fourth year it is 6 lakhs 33,800. Hence, discounted payback period falls in between 3 and 4 years. Now we'll calculate to be exact how much we'll get. We'll calculate now that also. To be exact how much we'll get, that also we'll calculate. To be exact, here we take down discounted payback period is equal to, now we'll get 3 years first. So 3 years plus the difference between these two is how much? These 2 years is how much? That you calculate. First year and second year, the difference is 1,02,800 divided by, and the third year and fourth year difference is 1,36,600. So how much you will get? You will get 3.33 years. Approximately. Approximately. Like this, you need to calculate. Now we completed discounted payback method. Now we'll start new method. New method. Better I'll go down. New method called Rate of return method. Rate of return method. First, let me explain about this rate of return method. Now, this method takes into account the earnings expected from the investments over their whole life. Now, it is also known as accounting rate of return method for the reason that under this method, the accounting concept of profit, here profit means net profit after tax and depreciation, that is used rather than cash inflows. Now, according to this method, various projects are ranked in order to rate of earnings or rate of returns. The projects which the high rate of return is selected as compared to the one which has the low rate of returns. And this method also used to make decisions as to accept the projects or reject the projects. The expected return is determined, and the project which has a higher rate of return than the minimum rate specified by the firm called the cutoff rate is accepted. The one which gives a lower expected rate of return than the minimum rate is rejected. Simple rule, simple formula. The project which is giving high rate of return should be accepted as comparatively the project which is giving less returns. Simple logic is there. See, this method can be used in several ways. First method, among them, one is average rate of return method. See, under this method, average profit after tax and depreciation is calculated, and then it is divided by the total capital outlay or total investment. Uh, then you will get average returns. See, in simple words, we can say that this method establishes the relationship between the average annual profits to the total investments. So take down the formula for this method. Thus, here average rate of return is equal to average rate of return is equal to total profits after depreciation and taxes divided by net investments in the project into number of years of profits into 100. Or we can write it as, or we can write it as average annual profits divided by net investment in the project into 100. Okay, I will do problems. Problem to take down. A project requires an investment of rupees 5 lakhs and has a scrap value of rupees 20,000 after 5 years. Okay, then it is expected to yield profits after depreciation and taxes during the 5 years amounting to rupees 40,000, rupees 60,000, rupees 70,000, rupees 50,000, and rupees 20,000. Calculate the average rate of return on the investment. Calculate average return of the investment. We'll solve this problem. Now, first we'll calculate total profits. First we'll calculate total profits. Total profits are how many? These are the total profits, right? So take down rupees 40,000 plus rupees 60,000 plus rupees 70,000 plus rupees 50,000 plus rupees 20,000. That is equal to rupees 2,40,000. Now, average profits is equal to rupees 2,40,000 divided by 5. That will be rupees 48,000. And net investment in the project will calculate. Net investment in the project is equal to, first you see the project requires how much investment? The project requires 5 lakhs investment, right? 5 lakhs minus scrap value is there, 20,000. That should be deducted. So how much we'll get? That will be 4 lakhs 80,000. Okay. That is the net investment in the project. Now we have net investment in the project value is there, average profits is there. What is the formula for average rate of returns? Average rate of return is equal to average annual profits divided by net investment in the project into 100. So that will be rupees 48,000 divided by net investment value is rupees 4 lakhs 80,000 into 100. How much you will get? You will get 10%. You will get 10%. That is average rate of return. Again, we need to calculate. I hope this is clear. Now we need to calculate one more thing, that is return per yield. For the same problem, we'll do all the calculation. Return per unit of investment method. Return per unit of investment method. Under this, the formula is total profits after depreciation and taxes divided by net investment in the project into 100. So that will be the total profits are, just now we calculated here, how much is the total profit. Same problem I'm taking again and again. I will do all the calculation with this problem only. So total profits are how much? 2,40,000 rupees. 2,40,000 divided by net investment in the project is 4,80,000 into 100. So how much you will get? 2,40,000 divided by 4,80,000 into 100. That will be 30%. Is clear? Now we'll do next calculation, that is return on average investment method. Return on average investment method. See, the return on averagement method means in this method, the return on average investments is calculated using average investment for the purpose of return on investment is preferred because the original investment is recovered over the life of the asset on account of depreciation charges. So for example, I'll give you one problem, simple problem. A machine costs rupees 1 lakh and has no scrap value after 5 years. It is depreciated on straight line method. So now we calculate this. Now we'll calculate this. So the outstanding investment in the project is calculated as follows. Now, so 1 lakh divided by 5 years. If you do 1 lakh divided by 5, how much you will get? 20,000. 20,000 depreciation every year you have to provide. So here you take down beginning of the year, beginning of the first year. Beginning of the first year, the amount will be as it is, that is 1 lakh. Now, after that, we need to provide depreciations, right? At the end of first year. At the end of first year, how much will be the amount? From this amount, you need to deduct depreciation also. Straight line method depreciation another. So 1 lakh, depreciation ఎట్లా calculate చేస్తారమ్మా? I'll show you. Depreciation is equal to, how you will calculate now? Depreciation will be calculated as 1 lakh divided by how many years? 5 years. So 1 lakh divided by 5, how much you will get? 20,000. So at the end of first year, you need to deduct this depreciation also. That will be, now at the end of first year, what will be the amount? Amount will be rupees 80,000. Now, at the end of the second year, at the end of the second year, 80,000 minus 20,000, that will be 60,000. Next, at the end of the third year, at the end of the third year, 60,000 minus 20,000, that will be 40,000. Next, at the end of the fourth year, that is 40,000 minus 20,000, that will be rupees 20,000. Now, last one, at the end of the fifth year. Fifth year, nil, because no amount is left over. If you add all these amounts, you will get around 3 lakhs. 3 lakhs. So here you will calculate average investment is equal to rupees 3 lakhs divided by 6. That will be, here ఎన్ని వచ్చినాయమ్మా? 6. rupees 50,000. That is average investment. Or we can say, write one more formula, or say average investment. We will use different formula. Average investment is equal to, what is the formula? Total investment divided by 2. Now, how much is total investment? Total investment is rupees 1 lakh divided by 2. That will be 50,000. Any formula if you use, you will get the same thing. Okay. Clear, everyone? We'll do one more problem, but little big problem. Calculate the average rate of return of projects A and B from the following. This is project A, project B. Investments 20,000. Here it is 30,000. Expected life. No, no salvage value. 4 years. Then 5 years. Then projected net income after interest, depreciation and taxes. Here I'll give you one more table. Projected net income, that I'll give you one more table. Here it is. First column is years. Second column, project A, rupees. Then project B, rupees. Years we have how many years? Like 5 years. 3, 4, 5. So project A, 2000, 1500. Here also 1500, 1000, nil. Project B, 3000, 3000, 2000, 1000 and 1000 again. Here is the total of here 6000 and here it is 10,000. Just I want to fit this problem here only. That is I'm trying. If the required rate of return is 12%, which project should be undertaken? We need to calculate this. Let us start this problem. We'll prepare a table here. This is project A. This is project B. We have rupees here. First, total profits after depreciation, interest and taxes. Total profits are already in the problem, it is there. For project A, total profits are 6,000. Project B, total profits are 10,000. Then average profits. Average profits, how you will calculate? 6,000 divided by how many years of profits are there? 4 years. Only 4-year profits. 5th year it is nil. So 6,000 divided by 4, that will be 1,500. Here 10,000 divided by 5, that will be 2,000. Okay, that is average profits. Now next step is net investment on the project. Net investment on the project is, for project A it is 20,000. It is already given in the problem. This amount is also mentioned in the problem. It is 20,000. For project B it is 30,000. Already mentioned in the problem. Is net investment of the project. Now we'll calculate average rate of return. How we'll calculate average rate of return? We have a formula for this. What is the formula? Average annual profits divided by net investment in the project into 100. This is the formula. We have done problems. So how we'll take this? 1500 divided by 20,000. That will comes to how much? 20,000 into 100. That comes to 7.5%. Here, how you will take this? 2,000 divided by 30,000 into 100. So that will comes to around 6.66%. Next, but if we calculate rate of return on average investments, which is initial investment divided by 2, then how much you will get? We'll write that also. But if we calculate rate of return on average investment, which is initial investment divided by 2. Then what is the calculation? How you will calculate this? Then that will be 20,000 divided by 2. So that will be around, that will be 10,000 rupees. Here it is 30,000 divided by 2. That is 15,000 rupees. Or we can say, now this will be the average investment, right? Now we'll calculate. Or average investment average return on investment. So here you'll take 1500 divided by 10,000 into 100. That will be 15%. Here it is 2,000 divided by 15,000 into 100. That will be 13.33%. In the conclusion, we need to write the conclusion also. Write down the average return, on average investment is higher in case of project A and is also higher than the required rate of return of 12% and hence project A is suggested to be undertaken. Like this, you need to write the conclusion. Comparatively, project A and project B, project A is highest average rate of return, and it also showing higher than required rate of return 12%. So we need to accept project A comparatively project B. With the help of average rate of return, we can compare and we can check the profitability of the both projects and we can select one of them. Where you find high average return, that project will be accepted. Low average return project will be rejected. Like that. Just check this problem. Now, let us see the disadvantages and advantages of average return method. If you see this method is very simple and simple to understand and very easy to operate. And it uses the entire earnings of a project in calculating the rate of return, and not only the earnings up to payback period, and hence gives the better view of profitability as compared to payback period method. Comparatively, payback period method, this method is projecting or calculating the rate of return. Then see, this method is basically based upon accounting concepts of profits. So it can be readily calculated from the financial data. If you have financial data, this method can be calculated easily. So these are the advantages of rate of return method. Even though this method have advantages, it has some disadvantages also. Like this method, also like payback period method, it ignores the time value of money, as the profits earned at different points of time are given equal weightage by averaging the profits. It is not giving the importance to the time. So that is the main drawback. It ignores the fact that a rupee earned today is of more value than a rupee earned in the future or afterwards. So this method is totally ignoring time value of money concept. Then it does not take into consideration the cash flows, which are more important than the accounting profits. This method mainly focuses on accounting profits, and it is not taking into consideration the cash inflows. But when you are calculating, when you want to check the project feasibility, then you need to check the cash flows also. It also ignores the period in which the profits are earned, as a, like, it is giving you a 20% rate of return in 2.5 years, maybe considered better than 18% rate of return for 12 years. So thus it is not proper, because longer the term of the project, greater the risk involved. So it ignores this point. The longer the project, the great risk will be there. So this method is totally ignoring that point. And this method cannot be applied to a situation where investments in a project is to be made in parts. If you are taking wholly, then this method can be applicable. If it is taking into parts, this method cannot be applicable. See, I completed this concept ARR also. If you have any doubts, please ask me. We have five more minutes are there. Just ask the doubts. Any doubts in the problems? You can give your message. You can kept a message in our chat box. See, Amma, see these two methods, like the payback period method, what we discussed in the previous class, payback method, and this average adjusted returns method. These are two traditional methods of capital budgeting. Like, even though they are very traditional, suffering with serious limitations also, because they're giving equal weightage to the present and future incomes, and these methods do not take into consideration the time value of money. That is the most important thing. The fact is that the rupee earned today has more value than a rupee earned in the future. These two concepts are totally ignoring that point. And the time adjusted in discounted cash flow method take into account the profitability and also the time value of money. So we have another method called net present value method. Other method like net present value method and profitability index method. We have some modern methods also, like in capital budgeting, two methods are traditional methods, like net present value method is there. Then we have internal rate of return is there, IRR is there. These are the modern techniques. Now people are using more modern methods in capital budgeting. See, someone is asking about PPT. In the previous class, I used PPT, but present I don't have. Now I use that Word document and I typed all the problems. So don't for today's class I don't have any PPT. Maybe that the previous class PPT is in my mail. The next class I'll share. It is in my college. In the previous class I have taken from there in the laptop. This is I'm using now different system. I'm using now desktop. That is the problem. I hope you understand the problems, and I hope you can do your assignment problems also. In the next class, we'll do some more problems and new topic I'll cover. I'll take new topic in the next Saturday class. So in the next class, we'll start financing decision, that is sources of finance and cost of capital we'll do. And capital structure if possible, leasing methods and leverage analysis. I'll try to cover that part next week. Hope you enjoyed the class. Hope you understand the concepts what I have explained. Okay, then see you in the next week. See you in the next Saturday at 1:30. Now I'll wind up the class. Okay, then. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.